Welcome back, everyone. Today we're tackling something that seems so small, so innocent, but can trip up even the most seasoned English speakers. Articles. You know them, you love them, or you hate them. An N.
Oh, Monica, you hit the nail on the head. These little words are like the silent assassins of grammar. They sneak up on you, and suddenly what you're trying to say sounds off. I've definitely had my fair share of article moments, let me tell you.
Absolutely. And it's not just non-native speakers. I hear native speakers make these mistakes all the time. It's subtle, but it can change the nuance or even the clarity of a sentence. Let's start with the basics. And N. They're both indefinite articles, right? Used for non-specific things.
Right. Like, I want a cookie, not I want the cookie, unless we're talking about that specific last chocolate chip one you just baked, Monica. The rule I always learned was A before consonants and before vowels. Simple enough, right? Except it's not always.
Exactly. That's the first big trap. It's not about the letter, it's about the sound. Think about university. You don't say an university, do you? It's a university, because uni starts with a U sound, which is a consonant sound.
Oh, that's such a classic. And then the flip side, an hour is a consonant, but we say an hour because the H is silent and it starts with an ow sound, a vowel sound. Mind-bending stuff for a beginner, I swear.
It really is. So, top tip number 1, always listen for the initial sound, not just the letter. An honest man, a European trip. These are great examples of where the rule of thumb needs a little fine-tuning. It's all about phonetics.
Okay, so we've got A and N for singular, non-specific things based on sound. Got it. Now what about the? That's the definite article, the big boss, the one that points to something very particular.
Precisely. The is for when something is specific, unique, or has already been mentioned. If I say, I saw a dog, you don't know which dog. But if I then say, the dog was chasing a squirrel, now you know exactly which dog I'm referring to, the one I just mentioned.
Ah, the old first mention indefinite, subsequent mention definite rule. That one's pretty solid. But what about when something is just inherently unique, like the sun or the moon?
Exactly. There's only one sun, one moon in our immediate context, so we use the. Similarly, the president or the prime minister when referring to the current leader of a specific country. It's implicitly unique in that context.
So if I'm talking about the Atlantic Ocean, I'm using the because there's only one Atlantic Ocean. Got it. But then I get confused with places. Like, I'm going to France, no the. But I'm going to United States, the is there. What's the deal with that?
That's a fantastic point, Cajun, and it's a very common area of confusion. Generally, with most countries, cities, and continents, we don't use the. I live in London. She's from Canada. He traveled to Asia. No articles.
So far, so good.
But we use the with countries that are plural, like the Philippines, or those that include words like republic, kingdom, or states, such as the United States, the United Kingdom, the Czech Republic. It's about the official name structure.
Ah, so it's not just a random exception. There's a pattern there. That helps a lot. The Netherlands is another one, right? Because it's plural.
Exactly. You've got it. And this leads us to another major area of common mistakes, the dreaded zero article, when you don't use any article at all. This is often where things get really messy.
Oh, the zero article. That's like trying to find a ghost, isn't it? It's the absence of something you're used to seeing, like I like coffee, not I like a coffee or I like the coffee, unless it's a specific one.
Perfect example. With uncountable nouns like coffee, water, advice, information, money, we often don't use an article when we're speaking generally. Information is power, not the information is power, unless you mean specific data.
So if I'm saying I need advice, it's general. But if I'm talking about the conversation we had yesterday, it would be, thank you for the advice you gave me. Is that right?
Spot on, Cajun. You're specifying which advice, so the comes into play. Another common zero article scenario is with plural countable nouns when we're talking about them in a general sense, like cats are independent animals. We don't say the cats are independent animals because we're not talking about specific cats.
That makes sense. It's like books are great for learning, not the books are great for learning, unless I'm pointing to a shelf of specific books. So generalizations often mean no article.
Exactly. Generalizations, whether with uncountable nouns or plural countable nouns, usually go article-free. Think about abstract concepts too. Love is a powerful emotion, not the love is a powerful emotion, unless again it's specific, like the love between them was undeniable.
Man, it's all about context, isn't it? The more specific you get, the more likely the pops up. The more general, the more likely you ditch the article. That's a good mental shortcut.
It truly is. Another area where the often gets misused or omitted is with unique institutions or places when we're talking about their purpose. For instance, I go to school versus I went to the school to pick up my sister.
Oh, that's a good one. If you're a student, you go to school because that's your purpose. But if you're a parent just visiting, you go to the school because it's a specific building you're approaching, and you're not there in the capacity of a student.
Precisely. Same with go to hospital versus go to the hospital. If you're a patient, you go to hospital. If you're visiting a friend, you go to the hospital. The purpose dictates the article or lack thereof.
Wow, that's a nuanced one that many people miss. It's so subtle. What about meals? I always say, I'm having breakfast. Never, I'm having a breakfast, unless I'm describing a specific type.
Exactly. With meals like breakfast, lunch, dinner, we generally don't use articles. We're having dinner at 7. However, if you're talking about a specific type of meal, you might. We had a lovely dinner last night. Or if you're specifying the dinner you cooked was amazing.
See, that's where the context really matters. It's not just about the word itself, but how it's being used in that moment. It's like English wants you to be a mind reader sometimes.
It demands attention to detail, that's for sure. Another common mistake I hear is using the with sports. You play basketball, not the basketball. You watch football, not the football.
Right. I play tennis, not the tennis, unless I'm talking about the tennis match that was just on TV, maybe. Again, specification.
Bingo! You're really honing in on the core principle. When you're talking about the sport generally, no article. When you're talking about a specific instance or event of that sport, then the comes in. It's a subtle but important distinction.
This is making me think about all the times I've probably messed this up. I remember once I said, I need information about this project, and my friend gave me such a weird look. Of course, information is uncountable.
That's a classic. Information is definitely one of those tricky uncountable nouns that people often want to put in front of. Other examples include advice, news, furniture, knowledge, research. You wouldn't say a furniture or a research.
Right, you say a piece of furniture or a bit of advice. You use a quantifier before it. That makes sense. What about when you're referring to parts of the body?
Another interesting case. Often, when we're talking about a part of someone's body, we use the or a possessive adjective. He hit me on the head, not he hit me on a head, or he hit my head.
Oh, that's very true. You don't say, I have a headache in a head. It's always, I have a headache, and then my head hurts. It's implied whose head it is.
Exactly. The definite article the often serves to show possession when the owner is clear from context, or we use a possessive pronoun directly. It's part of that specificity again.
Okay, so we've covered a versus un based on sound, the for specific or unique things, and zero articles for generalizations, uncountable nouns, proper nouns like most countries, and things like meals and sports. Any other sneaky little areas we should watch out for?
Well, one I often hear is with superlatives. When you're saying something is the best, the tallest, the most interesting, you almost always need the. It's the tallest building, not just tallest building.
Oh, right. Because there's only one best or tallest in that specific group. It's inherently unique. So, she is the best student in the class.
Precisely. That's another strong indicator for the. And then we have ordinal numbers, the first, the second, the third. You wouldn't say first time I saw her, it's the first time I saw her. You're specifying which time.
It's all about pointing, isn't it? The is like a linguistic finger. It says this one or that one. Very useful analogy for remembering when to use it.
That's a fantastic way to think about it. And N are like saying any one of these, while the is saying this particular one. And the zero article is saying all of them generally or none in particular, just the concept.
I like that. And it just pick one. The, no, that one. Zero. I'm talking about the big picture here. This is actually starting to click for me in a deeper way.
That's the goal. And let's not forget fixed expressions. English has a lot of idiomatic phrases where articles are either included or omitted in ways that don't always follow the strictest rules, but are just how we say it.
Like in general or at home. No article. But on the radio or in the newspaper, my brain hurts just trying to memorize all the exceptions.
That's true. Some expressions are just learned through exposure. By bus, by car, by plane, no article, but on a bike or in a taxi. There are patterns, but sometimes you just have to immerse yourself and notice.
So exposure is key. Reading a lot, listening a lot, and probably making a lot of mistakes and getting corrected, right? That's how I usually learn things, by tripping over them.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of the learning process. The key is to be aware of these common pitfalls and actively try to correct them. Pay attention to how native speakers use articles in different contexts.
And remember that sound rule for A versus un-A, unique opportunity, and MBA, because un starts with an sound. It's so tricky.
Yes, an MBA is a brilliant example of the sound rule in action. Think of abbreviations. An MRI scan versus a hospital visit. It's all about that initial sound.
This has been incredibly insightful, Monica. I feel like I've just navigated the article jungle with a much better map, and I'll definitely be listening more closely now.
Me too, Cajun. It's a fundamental part of English, and mastering it really elevates your communication. Remember, and n, the are small words, but they carry a lot of weight in conveying precision and meaning.
So, for anyone out there struggling, don't despair. It takes practice, it takes listening, and it takes making mistakes. Just keep at it, and you'll be using the right in no time or no article at all.
Fantastic advice, Cajun. And that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the world of articles.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep practicing, and we'll catch you next week for more language adventures.